I can't tell if my hair is cute or if it's something I should quite literally never do again. Anyways, as you can tell by the title, this is going to be me reading my highest and lowest rated books on my Goodreads TBR. One of these books I am so excited to read, and the other I am absolutely terrified of. So let's go over to the Goodreads. Obviously, I already know what the books are because I had to make sure I had them, but I'm still going to show you just so you know I'm not lying. All right, I already have it sorted by average rating, and the highest rated book at the moment is Penance by Eliza Clark, which is actually not out yet. I just read Boy Parts by her in my last video, and I wanted to see what else she had out, but this doesn't come out until July. I don't know, it's something about a missing girl. The description looked good, so we'll see in July. The next highest rated book is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent with a 4.52. Now, I am so excited to read this book. I have seen people raving about Carissa Broadbent all over TikTok, all over Instagram, all over everything. You know, people are saying that it's like the next big fantasy. Her books remind them of ACOTAR. And I don't think I read a single fantasy last month in March. And I just finished The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. So my brain is craving fantasy. Also, I guess this is a duology and the second one comes out at the end of this month. So this is a perfect time to read this book. So yes, I'm so excited to read this. Now, my lowest rated book on Goodreads, scroll all the way down, is Womb by Duncan Ralston with a 3.39. As you can see, we've got two very different vibes going here. And this is the one that I am absolutely terrified to read. I like to read a lot of thrillers, psychological thrillers, horror, and every once in a while, I like to absolutely horrify myself. I don't know why. I mean, there's probably some psychological reasoning, but we're not here to get into that. I didn't check the content warnings, which we might regret, but the back says, the lonely motel holds many dark secrets, and room 6 just might possess the worst of them all. Angel knows all about pain. His mother died in this room. He's researched its history. Today he's come back to end it, no matter the cost, once and for all. Shyla, a plus-sized prostitute. Can I say that on YouTube? Shyla, a plus-sized sex worker, thinks the stories Angel tells her can't be true. Secrets so vile you won't want to let them inside you. But the lonely motel doesn't forget. It doesn't forgive, and it always claims its victim. I'm going to read this one first. Obviously, you can tell it's really short. 130 pages, 127. So I can probably finish this in one sitting if I am able to sit and read it straight through. We might have to take some breaks, so we'll see. So hopefully I'll finish this one today, and then we can just move straight to this. I don't know if I can finish this. I'm 50 pages in, and this is by far, the most disgusting thing I've ever read. Disgusting. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. So this man goes to a motel room, obviously, and we know that his mother died in the hotel room. We don't know how yet. And he orders a woman to come, you know, and he starts telling her these stories. And these stories are about other people, like they don't involve him yet, but all of the stories take place in the motel room that they're in. He starts telling her, he's talking to her, I don't believe in ghosts, but I think places hold on to bad things. He says, I think when you enter a place that's absorbed enough bad things, it pukes them out at you. And he's like, bad things happened in this motel room. And she's like, give me an example. And so that's how he starts going into all these stories. Like I said, 50 pages in. He's only gone through one story, but it's disgusting. I really don't want to finish this. I guess I will, though. Well, I have about 10 pages left, and I'm on the last chapter. I don't know what to say. There have been a couple plot twists, as you can see, that have gotten me. I feel like when people say, oh my gosh, that plot twist was so obvious, I'm always the one to be like, was it? Because the plot twists in this book, obviously now knowing them, completely obvious. But they still got me. Like, they're so obvious. I don't know what to say. So I'm gonna finish and then we'll be back. This is the first book that I can genuinely say I put down and went, what the fuck did I just read? I don't know what to say. Now, the beginning of the book, I would say, was more so just like disgusting and disturbing to read. Like, I really was not about it whatsoever. I still would not say I am about anything concerning this book, but at the beginning, I was like, I really don't want to finish this. And then we got more into storyline, I guess you could say. I don't know. And you got more into a horror aspect, more so than just blatantly disgusting. If you have read this book, how did you process what you just read? Because I genuinely, all I'm thinking in my head is just, what the fuck? I was looking at some of the Goodreads reviews of this before I started, and there's one that says it's not rated any stars. It just says something along the lines of, this star system is not equipped for this level of fuckery. And that is so accurate. I need a minute. So I just sat here for about 20 minutes, staring out the window, trying to contemplate what I just read. And I still don't know. What I do know is I feel like I need one of those, you know, like one of those brushes you use to clean a grill? Like a wire brush? I feel like I need one of those to scrub my brain. Like, I am literally at a loss for words. I cannot begin to describe to you what I just read. Look up the trigger warnings. Look up the content warnings. The language is foul. Foul. The level of graphicness, graphicity, I don't know, of this book is how graphic I was expecting A Little Life to be based on the way that people talk about it. I'm not saying that the content or the storyline, these two books are not remotely similar. I'm just talking about the level of the graphic content. This book makes A Little Life seem PG in terms of the graphic content. I really feel like this is the only book that has ever had me at like such a loss for words. And I've read some disturbing books. As far as the rating goes, I'm gonna agree that the star system is simply not equipped and it's not meant to be applied to a book like this. Would I recommend it? If you're into extremely depraved and horrific books, yes. But if you aren't, then absolutely not. Then again, if you're planning on reading a book like this, then you probably read other books like this and in this genre, so you probably know. So you probably know what you can and cannot handle. People who read books like this do not have trigger warnings that apply to them. Anyways, now that that's over, I still feel like I just need to take a couple minutes and stare at nothing, but then we get to start A Serpent in the Wings of Night. Okay, so I started The Serpent in the Wings of Night last night. I am about 120 pages in, and I do like it so far. I wouldn't say that I'm hooked to the point where I cannot put it down, but we're still early in. We're still early in the journey. Okay, so we have our main character, Araya. She was found as a baby by the king vampire. He adopts her, he raises her in the palace, he trains her, all that jazz. So there are like 3 different kingdoms, is what they're called, of vampires. And I think they all have their own territories. They're all kind of known for different things. There's there's the Nightborn, the Shadowborn, and the Bloodborn. Araya is found by the Nightborn king. And within the Nightborn vampires, there are two different clans. There are the Hyaj. There's a whole dictionary in the back of the book, by the way, because there are a lot of names and things to keep straight. And the other one is called the Rishon, however you say it. And the Nightborn vampires have wings. The Hyaj have like bat wings, and the other ones have like feathered wings. They have beef. They are fighting each other because they fight for control of the Nightborn kingdom, which right now is under rule of the Hyaj, who are ruled by Araya's adoptive father. His name is Vincent, by the way, which is odd because it is the most normal sounding name in this entire book, but he's the king, he's powerful, he teaches her how to fight, he teaches her how to protect herself because basically humans are prey in this world of vampires. Honestly, the vampires remind me a lot of Reese from ACOTAR, like with their wings and how she describes their personalities and their powers. So it's basically a book full of Reeses, which I'm into. I'm into that. So every 100 years, there is a tournament called the Kajari, and it's held in honor of one of their goddesses. Her name is Nyaxia, which sounds to Nyaxia. She's the goddess. It's held in her honor, and the winner gets a gift specifically from her. So our girl Araya enters the tournament because she wants to win, and the gift she's going to ask for is power because she's sick of being lame. I don't know. She's a human. She doesn't have any powers. Also, some of the vampires have power and some of them don't. And their power comes from all the different gods and goddesses. I don't know. I don't really know how it all works yet, but so yeah, we just got into the tournament. It's held like in this palace that is there specifically for the tournament. It's like 50 or so vampires from all the different territories, like the Bloodborn, the Shadowborn, all of them. All of them can compete. There are like different tasks spaced out. But they can also like kind of kill each other in between, but they're supposed to just kill each other in the task. I don't know. We've kind of just also started to meet Rain, I think his name is, who is the love interest. Don't know a ton about him yet. She just ended up allying with him in this tournament because she gets hurt and he can help her. That's where we're at so far. I do like it. We're gonna keep going. Another day, another experimental hairstyle, but I cannot tell if it's cute or if it makes me look like a child. Also, yes, I am in the same sweatshirt I was in yesterday, but listen, if you don't leave your house and you don't get anything on it, it's not dirty. And I will not be taking any further questions on that matter. So I'm a little over halfway through, and just when I started to feel like things were getting a little slow, it picked back up again. You know, we had to get through Araya and Rain, our two mains, accepting that they were going to work together, figuring out how to work together. So, you know, we had that training montage. My favorite thing in books is tension. You know, that tension, that resistance between the two love interests before they decide that they like each other. And my only critique is that I wish there was more of it. Like, don't get me wrong, it's there, but I want more. But we're still rocking with it so far. They're still in the competition. They're also dealing with like political conflict outside of the competition because, like I said, the two clans, they're beefing, and Rain is a part of the enemy clan. So there's conflict between Araya and her father because Rain is essentially her father's enemy. But there are also hints that it's more than just a rebellion from the enemy clan. I think it's going to be a bigger problem than just the two vampire squads battling. So we'll see. I don't think I'm going to finish today, but I do think I'm going to read a good chunk. So let's keep going. You guys, this book is making me feel things. I got what I wanted. The tension is there. The angst is there. We're living, we're laughing, and we're loving right now. Like, this book got me smiling and kicking my little feet. Also, we got one of my favorite tropes ever. When one of the characters gets injured and the other one has to give them like medical attention, they have to take care of them. That is top tier trope. I have about 100 pages left, so we're gonna finish and then I'll be back to discuss. fantasy like this in such a long time. I really want to give it 5 stars, but I'm gonna make myself wait. I'm gonna sit on it for a little bit, but it's definitely up there. The ending, that ending was so good. It had me so excited, like excited to the point where I was physically reacting. Now, I read ACOTAR and Throne of Glass back in high school, so years ago, long time ago. Honestly, I don't think anything will ever compare to that experience or that feeling, but I do think we could be getting somewhere close with Miss Carissa Broadbent. I think she's gonna have her moment. I've already ordered the next book, which is actually a novella and has different characters, but it's still set like in this world. And then the actual second book with Rain and Araya comes out in a week, so we will be reading that as soon as it comes out. She also has another series, Daughter of No Worlds, that I've heard such good things about too, so definitely gonna be reading that soon. Yeah, I really liked this. I really liked the characters. I liked Rain. I liked Araya. I actually love Araya. Like, she is so cool. She's such a badass. I love that, like, she is the mean, emotionally guarded one. And she has such, like, a complex relationship with herself and with who she is and with how her father raised her. And I also just loved getting into a whole new fantasy world. So yeah, you've just witnessed me read my highest and lowest rated books on Goodreads. This book feels like it was literally a lifetime ago, and it also feels like it took years off of my life. I will say though, having now been removed from it for a couple of days, the plot is not bad. Dare I say, kind of good. It's absolutely depraved and absurd, but kind of good. So if you want to be absolutely horrified, go for it. If not, stay as far away from this book as you possibly can. And if you're looking for a new fantasy, then I 10 out of 10 recommend The Serpent and the Wings of Night. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you decide to stick around. And I'll see you in the next one.